Jasmine introduced me to Andrew Huang's channel, and he likes to make songs from samples, and I wanted to give it a go to see how well I would do using Ableton Standard, using only stock plugins. So I recorded a song. The working title is Everything's a Sax. I started by recording a major scale. I'm using an SM58 and it's a little shrill, so I added some EQ. I ran it through simpler and slice mode with a MIDI arpeggiator, an auto filter, and some compression. This instrument is basically a randomized saxophone solo using some MIDI plugins and a keyboard mash. Remember, each sample is a degree of the scale, so it's not actually chromatic. Here's how it sounds. Then, of course, there's the melody with lots of effects and automation to make it dynamic. Though I called this instrument the dot matrix printer, it sounds more like a receipt printer, so if this sounds like your day job, don't be alarmed. Then I created some pads for running through some EQ, some multiband dynamics, some filter delay, compressor, and auto filter. It sounds like. Pardon the clicking sounds, it's hard on the CPU. And I've also got the same thing going on up an octave as well. And then I wanted to have a piano-ish sort of instrument, something that would have a fast decay. And to do that, I needed something with an ADSR, so Simpler wasn't going to do the job from my research, but Drum Rack did. It's got this little curve here, so I can do. It's comprised of 3 instruments. This one an octave up, one 2 octaves up. The first one's got this EQ shape, then we've got this EQ shape, and this EQ shape. Here's the fun part. We've got a bass, it's tuned down 2 octaves, it's going through an EQ compressor, and then we've got a send with multiband dynamics, auto filter, and phaser. Then we have percussion. Here's the kick. The kick is just the tail of a note, transposed down 32 semitones. Then rim shot is the tail end of a higher note, run through bit compression, overdrive, EQ, compression, and then some reverb, as well as. And that's plus 4 semitones. Snare is plus 6 semitones, and it's just going through a lot of overdrive, compression, reverb. And then I've got this hand clap sound, and it's the tail note of a higher note, and it's plus 46 semitones, and then I just bit crushed like crazy, overdrive, compression, reverb. Then we have hi-hat, and it's a higher note again, lots of bit crushing, compression, and then a very significant EQ shape, and some reverb. I've got this open hi-hat sample, and so it's got some chorus, some high filtered overdrive, some high EQ. Then I've got these fun little woodblock sounds. If you watch a little transpose here. And here's our effects. And then I wanted to have some stereo effects. So I've got 2 sends that several instruments are going to. Less squishy and right squishy. Some preset was called squishy, so I went with it. We've got a high pass filter in the left channel, a low pass filter in the right channel, and then they're both sending back into a stereo track with an in monitor. And so here's that little squishy effect. It just kind of randomizes some rhythms and then some reverb compression. And then as this is a pretty dancey-ish kind of track, we've got the sidechain compression here. You can see reverb to sidechain compression on a whole bunch of things. A few going to straight to master like the solos, so it's bypassing it, but most of the audio 2s are going straight to sidechain compression or to some sends that send back to sidechain compression. So it's just an audio with its in, and we've got sidechain and audios from the kick. To master it, I just threw a limiter on the master track and basically threw it into VLC after bouncing it and adjusting the gain and bouncing again until it sounded similar to other music's levels. Without further ado, here's Everything's a Sax.